If you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe in you?
Chelsea Handler gives some unfiltered advice.
I'm friends with Paige, and that's who I care about.
Plus, Carl Radke defends his summer housemate, and why Meghan Markle may need a new talent agent. We're breaking down the biggest celebrity moments on this week's Page 6 Fix. Let's start with what's trending on Page 6. Legendary actor Gene Hackman, his wife Betsy Arakawa, and their dog were found dead in their New Mexico home. Heartbreaking updates about Michelle Trachtenberg's death keep coming as she appeared to be in poor health on one of her final nights out, a source exclusively told Page 6. The Gossip Girl alum was spotted having dinner with friends at Sardiano's in New York nearly a week before she passed away. The insider also said fellow diners seemed worried about her because she looked like she was, quote, in very bad shape. In an emotional tribute to Michelle, her friend Amanda Day Cadenet claimed that she knew that death was a high possibility after she reportedly underwent a liver transplant. Hear ye, hear ye. The Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, hasn't had the easiest transition back into Hollywood, and her royal blunders just keep coming. Page 6 editor Ian Moore and senior reporter Mara Siegler have exclusive details on Prince Harry's wife.
As if Meghan Markle didn't have enough problems, we've now heard that she might have been dropped by her Hollywood agency, WME. Now, she ran into some problems with her brand, her show got delayed, and now what's the latest, Mara?
So the latest is a bunch of people in Hollywood have told us that Meghan Markle has been, so WME is a top talent agency
Right, the William
in Hollywood.
Morris Endeavor agency.
It's the big one. So it was a really big deal when she signed with them, and that was back in April 2023. We heard by last January it was pretty much over. She is difficult, she's too demanding. We heard there was an incident over the holidays that year where, you know, people came back, she was demanding this meeting, she was upset that people hadn't been, she wanted decks and plans, and they hadn't been doing them because they were on vacation and spending time with their family, and she had a meltdown. Major dispute with some people, and I guess Ari Emanuel, who is the head honcho over there, was just like, I am done with her.
Right, now this is according to sources.
Yes.
Of course, you did reach out to William Morris, and WME is saying, no, we're still representing her, as well as her production company, Archwell, that she has with Prince Harry.
I mean, you can have somebody on retainer and not necessarily be meeting with them or doing any work for them. So, you know, they did say that they are representing her, whether that means, you know, we had been told that there hasn't been a meeting with Meghan since last January.
Right, and also her show for Netflix was delayed. It was supposed to come out, then there were the LA fires, so they delayed it to March. It hasn't come out yet, so, and WME was involved in putting that show together, so they're still kind of working for her. But, you know, usually I find, Mara, you know, you read about it first in Page 6, and then the Hollywood trades follow, so we might be reading more about this when other publications pick up our exclusive reporting.
And this is coming on the heels of a Hollywood Reporter article saying where lots of people claim that she was a bully. Vanity Fair also spoke to a lot of people who had worked with her on like the Spotify deal and in other things, saying she was awful to work with, allegedly. Buckingham Palace had done that investigation into bullying claims. They never released the findings, but somebody did come out who was part of that recently saying, you know, I stand behind what I said. So she does have a pattern here.
Breakups inevitably cause friends to take sides, but what happens when it divides reality shows? Well, Summer House star Paige DeSorbo and her ex, Southern Charm's Craig Conover, have their respective casts on their side. And Carl Radke told our virtual reality host, Danny Murphy and Evan Reel, why he's Team Paige.
I just feel like everyone's really going to be looking at this season through a different lens. Now that they're done with, do you look back at this season and identify any red flags? Like, what did you know? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure similar to like how I've watched, you know, Vanderpump post Scandal. You know, you're watching those first few episodes, and even I'm sure people watching me and Lindsay last summer and watching all that back and trying to pick up on. I was certainly privy to some of the challenges they had. Obviously, long distance being a major one. You know, some of the career place, and also where Paige was and where Craig is, like what they wanted in that moment. It's really hard to, be in a relationship in these houses, but my experience over the summer with Craig, for the most part, was pretty positive. You know, I remember vividly him loading the fridge with non-alcoholic beer. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. I was excited to have a buddy. But you could tell that there was some things like behind the surface, and I think, just from my own personal experience, it gets to a point where you have all this noise around you. It's like, when you get married, when you're gonna start doing this, and it adds a lot of anxiousness. And I'm sure Paige, you're gonna maybe see, I didn't hear about much, but behind closed doors, I'm sure her and Sierra and Amanda had a lot of opening up about where she was at. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
But listen, it's been a really hard situation for the both of them. I feel equally sorry. I've been closer to Paige. I feel sorry for Craig and the whole situation, but I'm friends with Paige, and that's who I care about.
We'll be right back with more exclusives from Page 6. Comedian Chelsea Handler was hilarious as the host of this year's Critics' Choice Awards. And she's got a new book out now titled I'll Have What She's Having. She is crushing it in so many ways. So naturally, we were psyched when she stopped by the Page 6 studio on her 50th birthday to share some life advice that's so good, you may be firing your therapist.
Dear Chelsea, I know I'm good at my job, but imposter syndrome still has me convinced I faked my way here. How do I shut up the inner fraud police and actually own my success? By looking in the mirror every morning and saying I belong here. If you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe in you? Dear Chelsea, I love my single life and have zero interest in marriage or kids, but my friends and family act like I'm a cautionary tale. How do I get them to back off and accept that I'm happily commitment free? You don't. You don't have to do anything. Live your life, be happy, and be free, and eventually they'll get it. You're only letting them bother you. It doesn't matter what they think about you. That shouldn't bother you at all. If you're happy and free, continue. What are some subtle red flags in a relationship that people totally overlook? Well, herpes, besides the obvious one like a secret family or still texting their ex as a friend. That's a big one. It's weird when men are still texting their ex-girlfriends when they're in a new relationship. When men are rude to waiters, I think that's really a red flag. When they wear flip-flops, when they don't shower every single day, when they have a soul patch and they don't grow hair around the rest of their face, I think that's a red flag. I don't like when there's hair right here. That's a red flag, right down there. You can have a little hair on your back, but try to remove it. You know what I mean? That's really the best thing for everyone.
Now, Ben Affleck might want to take some of that advice because he is back in the dating game. As he starts a new season of his own, writer and comedian Brian Foss is unpacking what Ben and some other famous faces are springing into with this week's Relationship Roundup.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The award for Best Single Celebrity in his 50s goes to Ben Affleck. Sorry, Kid Rock. Better luck next year. Ben Affleck, the Dunkin' Donuts loving, grumpy face actor, has been casually dating ever since he and Jennifer Lopez finalized their divorce last month. It'll be fun to see Ben single and looking to mingle again. Who could forget back in 2021, just before Bennifer 2.0, when he hilariously got his ego bruised by a woman named Naveen on the dating app Raya.
I'm trying to get rid of them, but nothing seems to
Naveen, why did you unmatch me? It's me.
It's me. Still gives me chills. No wonder she went Gone Girl. The Academy Awards are this Sunday, and we got an Oscar bait-worthy romance just in the nick of time. Andrew Garfield and Monica Barbaro are reportedly low-key, quietly dating. If you're like, Monica who? She's nominated for Best Supporting Actress for her performance as Joan Baez opposite Timothée Chalamet in the Bob Dylan biopic. But maybe if she starts loudly dating Andrew Garfield, she won't be a complete unknown for much longer. Meanwhile, at the SAG Awards, all eyes were on the wickedly adorable Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater, who left his pregnant wife for her. Even juicier, a professional lip reader, Nicola Hickling, interpreted a private moment between the two. Ethan supposedly whispered, "Stay near, this crowd next to me, they are pushing me." Theater kids, they're so dramatic. Well, we might hear wedding bells on the next season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Dolores' son Frankie proposed to his girlfriend Nicole at New York's iconic St. Patrick's Cathedral. Baptisms, weddings, funerals, and now engagements. St. Pat's does it all. And we leave you now with another reality TV couple, Alec and Hilaria Baldwin. On the premiere of their new TLC show, The Baldwins, the mom of 7 admitted that she agreed to sign a prenup without really understanding it.
Because you're like, after a certain number of kids, it's this, and I was like, you know what? I'll just sign it, which was probably very stupid of me back then.
Well, hopefully after 13 years of marriage and 7 little Baldwinitos, these two will never have to use that prenup. But if it's anything like that timeshare I signed down in Cancun, you in danger, girl.
Award season is in full swing, and that means the stars have brought their fashion A-game to the red carpet. The SAG Awards kept the party going, and Page Six style and shopping director Alana Fishman is shelling out her own awards for Best Dressed.
Award season is drawing to a close with the Oscars right around the corner, and on Sunday's SAG Awards red carpet, stars definitely brought their style A-game. Hosted this year by Kristen Bell, the Screen Actors Guild Awards boast a more laid-back dress code than the Oscars, meaning nominees and presenters can have a bit more fun with their fashion. And plenty took advantage, with Timothée Chalamet channeling Bob Dylan in a custom black leather suit, neon green shirt, and cowboy boots from Chrome Hearts. He topped off the look with a vintage Cartier watch, which he styled as a bolo tie. Very Timmy. The piano lesson nominee Danielle Deadwyler, meanwhile, dazzled in her sculptural scarlet Louis Vuitton dress, one of my favorites of the night. I have no idea how she managed to sit during the ceremony, though. Talk about commitment to a red carpet moment. And Jamie Lee Curtis was giving showgirl her words in this black sequin Dolce & Gabbana gown topped with a matching feathered bolero. So playful and a perfect pick considering she was nominated for her performance in The Last Showgirl. Many of the night's very best looks came from the archives. Check out this wickedly wonderful silver number Alexander McQueen designed for Givenchy Haute Couture's Fall 1997 collection, worn beautifully at the SAG Awards by Cynthia Erivo. Or this 1985-era black velvet Chanel with gorgeous gilded details on Keke Palmer. Complete with the matching opera gloves, it's a certified serve. And incidentally, it was first worn on a red carpet by fellow Best Dressed babe Jamie Lee Curtis in 1986. And speaking of a red carpet rewear, I loved seeing Lily Gladstone's gorgeous gown from last year's Vanity Fair Oscar party again. Designed by Gucci and featuring quillwork detailing by Indigenous artist Joe Big Mountain, it deserved another moment in the spotlight.
For more celebrity news, head over to Page Six and stream more New York Post breakdowns on the Fox Local app.